Thank you. So we'll call the meeting to order, the Winooski Planning Commission at 6:35. First item on the agenda is public comment. Are there any public comment? Hearing none, we'll move to the third agenda item. It's approved minutes from 1/10/2018. Get a motion.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second, sorry, trying to catch up here.
Take your time. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Welcome.
Motion passed, minutes approved. So there's been one change on the agenda item. We've moved item 4, which is the review signed letter of support for Green Mountain Development Group, to the end of the meeting. So the next agenda item will be the Main Street updates.
So this is me, obviously. I'll leave it very brief. Following on the heels of the meeting on the 10th, we sent VHB back to the drawing board, and the current iteration that came out of that meeting and is being drawn up and will be reviewed by you and the Public Works Commission in a joint meeting has essentially the uphill travel bike lane on the on the uphill side, so the northbound lane. The curb to curb dimensions remain the same as were in alternative 1. There's on-street parking on both sides, alternating. There's also bus accommodation. So basically, they've managed to pull it out of the hat that they've got uphill accommodations, downhill sharrows. In addition, we have commitment from Local Motion to do demonstration projects on Weaver over the course of spring, early summer, to look at how bike accommodations would be fit into that. So Jason Van Drych has committed that organization's time and energy into, again, doing 3 or 4 demonstration projects to look at different iterations of bike accommodations on Weaver, and has also committed his considerable time to the project in terms of making sure that we address the cycle rider on Main Street to the fullest extent that we can, without compromising bus and/or parking will obviously be compromised by the project in general. So to the extent that it's however minimized or not minimized, we don't know yet. But so in every way possible, I think they're moving in the direction that you guys provided or pushed or promoted. So
Great, it's great.
That's awesome.
Love it.
yeah, it's really been some really fruitful couple meetings since we've had with VHB and Jason and Local Motion since the 10th. That's it.
That's it? Awesome.
Oh, hang on, just one second, let me just get on that. Okay, so you said Local Motion has committed to,
Demonstration projects.
So
on
they'll
Weaver
have
Street.
that
Yeah,
ready
we-
for the next meeting with us at the
the
joint one?
The next meeting with the Public Works Commission
Yep.
will review the drawings.
Okay.
So rather than do it with just this body, we figured we'd wait till we have our next joint meeting with
Yeah.
Public Works, so it's both of you reviewing it, having I think probably just a tacit nod that you've seen it and you agree that it's moving in the direction that you voted on it on the 10th, and we'll go from there. The other piece I guess I'll just add is that with the demonstration projects this summer, I think it's really a good opportunity to make it into a bigger event and even have some community outreach where we talk about other, for example, when we did the form-based code outreach, we had a booth at the farmers market where we took general input about city direction and things like that. So I think that when we do these day-long demonstration projects, we can look for input on a variety of things in addition to the quality of or the disposition of the bike accommodation on Weaver Street. So I think it's really kind of exciting that, you know, the idea of it becoming a street festival that celebrates the bicycle usage in the city and alternative means of transit and all that stuff. So
We came pretty close to having a crit down, which is like a bike race around the downtown. So maybe we can
that would be
reinvigorate that.
right.
And-
That'd be
That'd
very
be
cool.
crazy.
Wouldn't that be
Or
cool?
on
But
the
we could do
Rotary.
it. I don't think we were going to do it on the Rotary. It's going to go
Around
around, was through the Rotary, in front of the businesses, and then down West Canal, and then up either Weaver or the one in between. I forget the.
Center?
Not Center. Center's the one that comes
the one
across,
right, yeah,
but the
right.
one that comes up. Fallout.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, just an idea.
that's the kind of thinking that was,
Something like that
right,
would be cool to kind of get more of the bike community here to kind of experience it.
Right.
So,
Awesome. Alright, the next agenda item is the Economic Development Plan update.
Yeah, and I thought this was going to take a lot longer because Mike is your liaison to economic development for the municipal plan, and I know he's coming late. So I will talk it over a little bit with you, and I'll have you catch up with me. I had sent out last week what is the final copy from Camoin Associates of the Economic Development Strategic Plan. It's very close to what was presented at the joint meeting of City Council and the Planning Commission where they presented their findings. What I'd really like to highlight is, I think for purposes of the municipal plan, this is something that can be taken and you can really look at it from a high level with the 5 overarching goals and really pull those out and flesh them out if they seem like the right goals. Probably in February. And then this will be the appendix that supports the piece that you included in the municipal plan, you know, the graphically interesting little snippets. Any questions about this? I know that you were there for the presentation, so we're able to ask some of those questions, but the other thing that I've given you tonight, I put in front of you, is I've been breaking this out in a bunch of different ways, all of the action plan matrix. Nothing on there that was.
Just really planning commission, okay.
So whenever you guys were called out, I pulled things over here, anything that made sense specifically for planning commission. There's one error that I made. I included on the first. There's kind of.
I know you guys. So you have it on the radar.
Awesome. Thank you, Heather. So the next thing on the agenda is review sign letter of support for the Green Mountain Development Group.
Oh, yep.
So we were going to wait for Mike, but
Well, we need to retroactively go back and open up for public comment on the 2 agenda items we've already
right.
covered. So,
Correct. So, yeah, I guess we can, so we're gonna retroactively go back to public comment?
Sure.
public comment on, maybe we should, on
Right
Main
item.
Street revitalization.
On the Main Street Revitalization Project?
I just have a question. I'm Nathaniel Burns from Winooski. So with the new plan that the engineers have come up with, does city council have to now approve this again? Or is it just going to be put in as an adjustment to the current approved plan?
There's at this point, there's no intent to have the city council or the planning commission have any explicit approval. There will be a tacit approval that we're moving in the same direction as the vote on January 10th, which was the formalized preferred alternatives meeting, which is a legal requirement. We have to, a hurdle we had to have the public concerns meeting, and then we have a legal obligation to do alternatives and then do a preferred alternative vote and discussion. So I think we feel that we've, in addition to all the previous visioning we've done as a city, that satisfied both the visioning requirements that we would want to have just as an obligation to our community, but also the legal requirements. So at this point, for many purposes, but for the fact that it was voted on unanimously and the council endorsed it as well, we needed to move forward with engineering to get to the preliminary engineering report so that we can seek funds, and that needs to happen by the end of March. And if we open this up to a debate again, we would never get there.
Yeah.
So
I'm happy it's not. I would rather see it expedited. So then this is the plan, is the uphill bike lane.
that is the plan we're moving forward.
What will be percentage to get funding for that and everything?
That's the plan we're moving forward. And again, what's great about the plan as its current iteration is that it provides maximum flexibility in the sense that the curb to curb dimensions are the 38 feet that alternative 1 depicted. However, with some clever kind of other dimensioning, we've managed to have the uphill cycle path, or the northbound, the separation, and then parking. And again, there's some nuances of where the parking goes and where that Jason or Local Motion's weighing in on, or sort of commenting on as we move forward. So, but within that 38 to 40 foot curb to curb, you can do a whole bunch of different things, and that uphill bike lane is a definitive part of the conversation moving forward. But on a good note, bus accommodations are met. I have to say I was very impressed with the engineering team for the work and the due diligence they did to get to that point. So.
And then just quickly as a follow-up, the council also did the same thing, except that to prioritize funding from CRPC to do work on a bike facility on Weaver Street. So we did that simultaneously. So just want to point that out. The investment is a real one in terms of time and energy, and really making sure that's addressed.
Part of Mr. Mayor, I think that's part of the reason why that Local Motion also committed its energy to this, because they saw the positive values of both what was passed or voted on, and then also the commitment from the city to to really pursue all the things that both the Planning Commission and the City Council endorsed.
Any other public comment?
I have a question about that, though. I'd sent you an email about the meeting that's happening now in Burlington with Green Mountain Transit. And I think Local Motion has something to do with it also, about just how the buses and the cars and the bikes can work together. And is that something that we could explore doing
Yeah.
here also? I'm sad that I'm not at that meeting, but just curious if we could try to make that happen.
By all means, and it's just a matter of, with all the different phone calls we're making
yeah.
right now, I've been calling Green Mountain Transit, we've been trading phone calls back and forth, and setting up that next level is definitely a part of our plan going between now and April, whatever, when we apply for the funding. And then post that too, there's a period of time where we're in, not limbo, but we're in kind of, we
Resting?
yeah, we're resting, and I think we have some time to we're waiting to hear back from the funding sources. We'll have some time to really pursue some of the things that were not part of the preliminary engineering report. Again, once the preliminary engineering report is done, it sets the benchmark for the funding request, and then there's I wouldn't say it's wiggle room, but there's latitude within there to start to explore the whole range of different potential options that don't impact design, but don't impact funding.
Great. Paul, can we do the,
I think we have to do public comment specific to the economic development plan as well. I don't
is
know
there
if
any public comment for the economic development plan update? All right, hearing none. Green Mountain Development Group, agenda item.
So we'll have to just let Mike come in a little late on this. He'll be here at 5 after. You have in front of you a letter of request for a letter of support from the city, and also a letter of support from you and the city council, a joint letter. The city council being the first signatories, and then you would be the second body to sign. The request is for a general request for support in terms of that this fits into the overarching city policies, the city's vision statement, and the request is specifically to support a letter to Vermont Housing Financing Agency for tax credits for this project. The project, I sent you drawings of what it looks like. It's in the form-based code district, the gateway districts. It is, for the most part, entirely conforming with the form-based code requirements. It's subject to project review committee review on Tuesday, January 30th, which is next week. It's an administrative permit. The project review committee is advisory, so we will be reviewing it for just to make additional comments to improve the project if we, the committee, which is city department heads, can find places where we can improve the project. The project on that day should be, by my estimation, approved administratively, in which case it would go that would go to the request for tax credits with a approved permit, administrative permit, which would put it in very favorable status for those tax credits, which would probably ensure that it gets built. So your signing of the letter would be great, and let you guys discuss it from here.
So my understanding is that this is going to be built by Nate, the Justice Company, who built the city lights, for the Green Mountain,
Green Mountain.
Development group.
Development Group.
I think that would be a fair description of the, I know that both Nate DeJess's company and Green Mountain Development Group are both on the application, so they've, in terms of the public documents, they're both a part of that. I can't speak to their exact financial arrangements, but they're both a public face on the project.
What is at the site currently?
It's
It's a 2-unit, 2,500 square foot building. roughly,
Yeah.
Residential housing.
Is it,
It's a big lot.
yeah, where
It's
is
just
it?
one building right now.
It's 2 houses down from where the 2 gas stations are before the interstate.
So it's
on it.
before the body shop?
Yes, and no, it's
Is this
after
the
the body
same?
shop.
Is this the
There's a
same
house-
project that we saw a rendering of, or preliminary rendering of probably 6 months ago?
No.
No.
That's the one that's down across from Beverage Warehouse.
that one's directly across from Beverage Warehouse, and that's 66 units. This is 39 units.
I see, okay.
That 66 unit was market rate, as far as we know. And this is, do you know what percentage it is?
I mean, it says in here,
So-
39
Units.
units with 12 being market rate, 27 affordable to low income, and four of those affordable units will provide service-enriched housing for the homeless and at risk.
I personally think it's a pretty good idea for that spot. I think that it's not, I'm glad to see that there's no retail on the first floor, because that's like a pretty busy throughway for cars and stuff, and so it's nice that it's not gonna be a lot of in and out traffic for business type activity during the day. So that's my personal opinion. It seemed like a good fit. I think this is like gonna add to the affordable housing mix that we have in Winooski, which is for the most part quite a bit older. So this will be some nice newer stuff. There is some stuff obviously right downtown. So I don't know. I looked through it. I thought it was pretty good.
Was the 60% of area median income number, is that coming from a requirement that VHFA has of targeting? I mean, I don't know, Seth, if you know the answer to that.
Yeah, it's a requirement that, so the low-income housing tax credits that they're accessing 90% have a cap on their.
And it's 60% specifically.
Yes.
Okay.
And so those will have project-based vouchers attached to the.
Got it.
To the unit.
And city council has already approved this letter, or no?
It has not gone before city council yet.
I see. Okay.
So Paul, I guess I have a question in terms of design. Currently, is there a sidewalk on that side of the street?
I think there is.
Is there?
There's a blacktop sidewalk up to it, but I think it's an actual concrete sidewalk at that.
But is this sidewalk gonna, so if you're living like downtown and you wanna exit, I'm just curious,
This sidewalk, well, they'll be required to build.
to what we had approved,
Right.
but just in their spot.
Right. What are they connecting to is the question.
Correct. So the rest of the city, is there accessible so if I live here and I wanna walk from there to CCV or from there to Beverage Warehouse, is there means for me to walk?
It looks like there's sidewalk all the way up
It's on the
to
other side,
the
isn't it?
train tracks.
I think there's both sidewalk and
There's bituminous asphalt.
there's
Yeah.
also
For a piece of it.
the multi-direction recreation path on that side of the street.
Yeah. It's not a concrete sidewalk
No.
according to the Google Maps here, up through. But then I can't really tell. It looks like it might turn into it.
It does. I've
Yeah.
walked up it before. It was one of the things that I was looking at that time was walkability university.
Yeah.
So I walked there to specifically look at that.
And I've actually walked up there too, but I also know the other side of the street has a sidewalk, and we've just done enhanced crosswalk
Mm-hmm.
at the intersection of
Yeah.
Manso and Main, so we have a better crosswalk with it signalized. I think we have the
Dion,
Wait, where is that?
Dion and East
Yeah.
Ave.
Dion, Dion, yeah.
Yeah.
So there is,
So it's this is the body shop right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's these two. The one
There's two
closer.
lots.
Yeah, it's this lot only though. This lot is owned by one of the handies.
Okay.
Closer to the gas station, so.
Okay.
But it actually extends way down and kind of like curls with the railroads and goes way up.
So the building's actually gonna be like
Right up
going
on the
in-
street.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, got it.
Yep.
All right.
There's,
Yeah. I personally think that this is in line with the vision that we've been discussing.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, so I have no objection.
I have no objection.
Me too.
So I will make a motion that we, are signatory on this or letter.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. So do we, how do we go about adding our name to this list? Are you gonna?
Here's the case. The letter, the official letter's here.
Okay.
It'll go back on the clipboard and this will all go
Is
on
that-
Jesse's desk.
That's the letter that has Seth and Jesse's?
Yes, and so that you'll see that on this page, that is the signing page, there's the counselors, and there's a place for Seth's name, or the mayor's name, and Jesse's name, and then the counselors, and then right below that is your name. So do you guys need a pen, or do you want to do it with your own pens, or? I'll have to get Mike to do it when he comes in, if he agrees.
So if this was not a unanimous vote, then we would be in trouble.
Well, no, you could have not voted 3-2. Mike could say no. And
Right, but we just leave, or everyone would have to sign. if
Yeah,
they
you would have
agreed.
to sign, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice that it's already someone that's built in the city, and the city seemed to have good kind of rapport
Yeah.
with the builder, so that's why I brought up who it was that was doing it.
Jeez. Always wants to make it dramatic.
So you have to sign this, we're not gonna tell
So
you
they
where it
already,
is,
they
but.
already made the decision.
I'm not signing it. So I can leave? Is that what that means?
Well, this could be the shortest planning commission meeting ever.
Oh, we still have another agenda item, right?
Mike's gonna get
Do
the
we?
vote to adjourn.
Right here. No?
Mike, you're here, you wanna?
Oh, no, we
No,
don't.
we don't.
Okay.
We don't so we're, okay, we didn't have anything on the agenda about the, municipal plan.
Well, the economic development was
I
really
guess,
to be,
yeah.
discussion about, the municipal plan, so.
Got it.
But we never did open it up to public comment on this piece either, so.
Oops.
Is there any public comment on the Green Mountain Development Group? No?
Can you describe a little bit more about the project, because it's on the south side of the
It is
It's on-
on the,
yes.
yes, it's on the side where you're headed east. Up the hill.
Okay. I'm just having a little, I know Mr. Majeski will recall projects running down. Thank you.
So it's just west of the Mobile and Shell stations.
Was this quiet the whole half an hour that I wasn't here?
No, just really expedited.
Okay, that's good.
Any further public comment on that item? Hearing none, The last agenda item is adjourning. A motion to adjourn.
Well, I'm glad I came.
A motion to
Well, you
adjourn.
could contribute by adjourning.
Oh,
making a motion.
second that.
Second by Palace. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That was you that made the motion.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming.
Perfect.